Ready?
Yeah.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friends. This is Pinky.
And this is Priyanka.
And we're here to call out all things PakeAsPuck.
I'm always multitasking, right?
Yeah, always.
You're always waiting on me.
No, we're both always multitasking. If I'm not checking emails, then you're checking emails. If I'm not checking texts, then you're checking texts. It's redundant. Like, I feel like people know when we're busy, and that's when they want attention.
Your hair is just so
wild.
ridiculous right now.
So wild. I love it. This is how it should be. It looks damaged, but it's not. I just have to wash it.
Speaking of hair,
Okay.
I'm thinking to chop mine off.
Why? Why?
I'm just tired.
You want a bob?
I think I'm just tired of it. Maybe we can put it out for a vote.
Like a bob?
No.
Nobody. No.
Like collarbone.
Collarbone. Like Jennifer Aniston?
I don't know.
From Friends?
Is that what it's like? Would you
get layers too?
Yeah, just a few in the front.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Collarbone.
Collarbone.
I've been trying to do those filters.
Before you test it out, yeah, you have to do the filters.
I don't know. It's a lot to manage, and I feel like I can only really do the bun.
Yeah.
No.
I'm there, but I don't want to get rid of it because I know as soon as I chop it off, I'm going to miss it.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Yeah. Maybe it's just too long, right?
Yeah, just get it trimmed a little and see how you like it.
Yeah, we'll have to work our way.
Because if you just do the big chop, you can't put it back. But at least if you do little by little.
I'm also not really committed to hair like that. I think as long as I can put it in a ponytail, I'm good. I'm never going to go back to I used to have a really short angled bob.
Yeah, you do.
Where it was up to my neck. Mm-hmm. And then long in front, and I love that, but I think that was just for a different time in my life. I can't do that now. That was for a younger
Priyanka.
Yeah, I can't pull that off now. I also think I'm just a little too puffy for that. No. I don't think it looks the same.
No, you got to drain your lymphatic nodes. You got to drain your lymphatic nodes to help with that.
Who the fuck is teaching you this shit?
The TikTok gurus. They're like you, and at one point I saw 5 videos where chicks were putting rubber bands on their ears, like the hair ties, because apparently when your ears are held like this for 15 minutes, it drains.
It drains it?
Yeah, and so I'm gonna try that in the hotel room tomorrow.
I've come across facial massage TikToks, and these bitches just look so stupid. They're you look like you're blowing somebody. Get out of here. Stupid. They got their whole thumb in there and they're massaging their face.
Yeah, with the
I have a cream for that. It's okay.
You have a cream
Get the fuck out of here.
But I love the gua sha chicks.
Who has that much time?
These gua sha chicks.
They're just sitting there.
Hey, I've seen somebody do it in action, and every time I watch it, I was like, girl, this is fascinating to me.
Right, but that's a lot of time to put in.
I know. Every time I saw this girl do it.
3 steps is more than enough. And that's coming from a makeup artist.
I know.
It's just too much.
That's the one thing that, it doesn't irritate me, but it makes me feel kind of bad when everybody's like, oh my God, your makeup looks so good. And I'm like, it was filter 53. I am so honest with people. I'm like,
At least you're honest and you're not trying to catfish them.
No. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I don't want people to get duped because there's so many people out there that are lying to them anyways. And so I'm like, I don't want to be another person that's lying to them.
Yo, I'm going through another phase like that on social media. I just kind of stopped scrolling because tell me why every single influencer out there is promoting the exact same skirt, the exact same sweaters, all the same boots. I'm like, all you bitches look the same.
Because they have a TikTok shop link on the bottom. That's
but
why.
They're all promoting the same thing. And God forbid, I like this skirt or I like the hoodie. I'm like, no, I'm not going to go and buy it because then I'm going to look like every other basic person out there. Yeah. And I can't. They're all literally putting together same tones. Yeah. Same outfit. Same skirts.
When did we stop liking color? I don't understand this. This whole beige aesthetic thing. Did we talk about this earlier?
I don't hate it, but I do think that to some degree you got to introduce some personality to it.
I get it if your cones and rods are not coning and rodding correctly and you can't see color in your eyeballs. I get that. But this is even the kids' toys are beige. Like, come on, man. Like, kids need color. Like, there's a reason why Crayola has so many options. You know, like you need color. You need vibrancy in your like. What is this beige aesthetic doing for you? Like, and I tried to watch this one video of this one girl, and it was fresh today. Funny that we're talking about it. Like, and she was just like, you know, these are all the hate comments I get on my videos all the time, but this is why I do it. And obviously, I was not listening to it. I was just watching it and reading the subtitles and all that. And the only thing I can put together is like, and at the end she shows why, and she had 3 pictures at the end of how she grew up in the household she grew up in. And I was like, okay, I get it, but your house right now, in your effort to go the complete opposite of what you grew up with,
like a chaotic atmosphere to like that minimalist.
Yeah, but like this woman went, oh, like she had everything labeled, like everything in her pantry, everything in her closet.
And it stays like that all the time?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
You'd be so proud of me. I know we've talked about this before, but if you walked into my house, I have loosened up.
Oh, good. I was like, I bet, please don't go the opposite way.
Footprints on the floor.
Amazing.
Last night, I just looked over at the sink, and Neil looked over at the sink, and I was like, not it. And he was like, Monday's his like video game night, and he was like, okay, babe, if you just unload the dishwasher for me after I'm done with the guys, I'll come down and do the dishes. I'm like, bet. So
that is teamwork.
I love that, because I don't want to come down to a dirty sink, but my exhaustion trumped.
Yeah.
Like what we talked about last week. Like, I was tired. It's not hurting anybody. We do have clean dishes for people to eat off of tomorrow.
And you know what?
It'll be fine.
If you don't, go get the fucking paper dishes that you have. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't.
It's okay.
But I don't.
I mean, I always have them because of parties and stuff. So we can always go and grab paper dishes.
No, I'm that freak that whenever I host now, I'm just like, do we have paper products? We need disposables. Yeah.
What?
I don't host people that often anymore, though.
Oh, okay.
I used to more when, like, I didn't have a whole zoo to myself. But yeah,
we have a whole system.
You'd be surprised. You can walk into my house and it's not like as
that's good
tidy. I've loosened up.
I'm very proud of you. I am proud of you.
I'm happier for it.
You listen. I understand why this woman is as stringent as she is, as anal as she is, because
it makes sense.
For her, it makes sense. However, what is the reality of that? Like, that's what I've always questioned. Like, and then when I'm looking at these people, like, restock videos, right? Like, I look at it in a totally different sense. And I don't even care what you're doing with the leftovers that didn't make it into that container. Like, where are you putting that?
There's a container for the leftovers.
Right. What I'm more astonished at, the more of these restock, come see my organized aesthetic house, beige house bullshittery, is the fact that when they're showing their drawers and their cabinets, there is so much white space. Like, they could be using that space so much more efficiently, but there's so much empty space around the spray bottles that they have in their bathroom, around, like, when they open the drawers of their pots and pans, like, you could see the bottom of the drawer, and I'm like, you guys
that's all you use? Like that?
That's exactly, like, I'm like, this, you've got rich people problems, and I can't watch this video. Like, if you could see the bottom of your drawers.
I really question if you're even using it to cook, because most of the time those pots and pans are pristine.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they
right?
are.
They're so clean, like they're new.
Yeah, like, not even.
Are you using them? Do you just DoorDash everything?
Exactly, and they put them upside down. But even then, if you use those pots and pans,
there's got to be a stain on it.
They would be on the bottom. You would see the grill, like, from the grates of the stove.
After the first use.
After. And I'm just like, so if that combined with the fact that I can see either the bottom of the drawer that they pulled open, or I could see the back of the cabinet doors that they opened, I'm like, you got rich people problems and we cannot hang out. You are wasting so much space in these cabinets. Like, I could never. Like, you open my cabinets, you for sure can't see the fucking back of these cabinets or the bottom of those drawers, because I have shit on top of shit that we have to, because I don't have this, like,
yeah. You don't have the capacity.
No.
Yeah.
But these, like, they waste so much space in their drawers. I'm just like, where's the rest of your shit? Where is the rest of your shit? I know you have real people shit. Where is it?
I can't help but laugh right now. Okay, so my cousin and brother-in-law built a house like early this year. They finally were done building it. Well off.
Oh,
Very
okay.
well off family, okay? I'm pretty sure the house is probably 5,000 to 5,500 square feet. Huge.
That's ginormous.
Huge. Walkout basement. Fully custom.
So you can see the bottom of her drawers, is what you're telling me.
I don't know. I didn't
In
go
the back
through
of the
everything. I
cabinets?
didn't go through everything. But the house was custom designed. They bought the lot like years ago.
I mean,
Designed.
if I had the money, I would customize.
Right.
Yeah.
They customized. They hired an architect, designed everything.
Dang.
Whatever. Great. You know, I'm so happy that they had the funds to do that, and
And the
they did.
patience.
They didn't skip out on finishes, and like
That's good.
they did everything
I hope
right.
this is a forever home.
They have like really good, you know, whatever. But my brother-in-law at the last time that I was over there, he's just like, you know, we just don't have storage in this house. I think I'm gonna have to, you know, put in a subfloor in the attic.
Get the fuck out of here.
I just wanted to be like,
You have 5,500
bro, you have a bathroom in every single bedroom. How do you not have storage? And how did you custom build and not take storage into consideration?
These are rich people problems.
Right. And
We don't have rich people
I couldn't.
problems.
I was sitting there and I was like, I don't relate. I don't relate.
We don't.
I'm like, I understand that this is a real problem. Yes. You have a big home. You have a lot of stuff. You have 2 kids. Kids come with stuff. Yes. Storing is a problem.
But if you can't figure it out,
if you
you're
custom
5,500,
built the house,
yeah.
how do we not have a solution for this?
No.
And why didn't your architect provide something?
Exactly.
Like, that was my question. But yeah,
But, like, also, why didn't your wife say where are we gonna store shit?
I don't think they thought about that though, because like
They're newly married.
Or no, they're married. They have 2 kids. They've been married since before me and Neil were married.
So they have a home that they're
They
living
had
in
a home
now.
before, and it was her family home that was like rented out
Right.
to them.
So they knew about storage issues then.
Right, but now I think because they're like, well, we have a bigger house, we should be good. But when you have a bigger house,
you got more shit.
you start to fill that house.
Fill it up with so much more shit.
Rather than
Yes.
thinking about, okay, where could they could have taken an entire wall and built like floor to ceiling like storage.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
the basement could have been reduced. There's a lot of, I mean, we've done floor planning.
Yeah.
We've
so
done
many-
store planning, right? So like there's a lot of dance floors.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Oh.
redundancies. Like, you know, there's multiple seating rooms,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it's just like, oh, well, this is our breakfast nook and this is our
No.
dining table, this and that.
Rich
Dining
people
room.
don't need that shit.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I
Yeah.
think this was more just like okay, well, we have the space, so let's start hacking it up. And so they have like a formal dining, then they have an informal dining.
Nobody uses
And
those.
then there's like a seating area, right? All nice features.
They're great.
But
A waste of money.
if we tried to optimize the space, we could have put in a little additional storage.
Right.
Because, like, honestly, if you have a formal dining space, we've never eaten there.
Yeah.
We're all still at the kitchen counter.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, did they do any research? Which I know this we're like getting off topic, but like
It's okay, we're rambling.
Do they like do any research on like what type of house layout? Like,
Quite honestly, the architect should have done this. This is a
Yeah.
part of floor planning.
No, it
So
is.
given a certain amount of square footage, you have to accommodate a certain percentage of that towards
Yes.
storage and XYZ,
Yes.
right?
We've
This
done the math.
is just space planning.
we've done the math.
So, like, yeah, originally, if you do that space planning piece of it and you just chop it up and like look at it from like
10% of the floor space has
right,
to be
like
stock room.
red, green, blue kind of a thing, right?
Exactly.
Like, okay, now within this space we can design your kitchens. Within this space we can
Yeah.
have
And
your bathrooms, whatever.
Like, why didn't the architect be like, realistically, why do you think you need 3 separate seating areas for food consumption? You know what I'm saying? Like a formal and an informal. And,
Right, and I bite my tongue a lot of times because I wasn't a part of those conversations. You know,
Which kind of sucks. I think you could have put some valuable.
we're not going there.
I know.
We're not going there.
I know.
Um,
My.
these are the questions that I ask. I'm not some world-renowned designer by any means, but those are the questions that I ask because I am more of like a practical designer,
Yeah.
right? Now, our house was a prefab,
Yeah.
and we were first-time homeowners, so we went from apartment to the house, right? So yes, storage was a concern, but I was thinking like, oh, we have like this huge vanity here, we have a closet over here, we have this huge basement that we can work with, you know? So when we first moved in, I was like, okay, we have a lot of cabinets. So we tucked a lot of things away, and then as we started having kids, I was like, okay, we need to build some more storage. But a lot of those plans were kind of already in place. Like I knew where I was going to put it. We just needed to actually get through and do it. And then they just don't build that initially into the house.
Yeah,
It's just very different if you have the opportunity to do like full custom.
Yeah. But let me tell you, this, I don't,
How do we get there?
I was,
Rich people problems.
Rich people problems. So if you can see the bottom of someone's drawers in their kitchen, and you can see the back of the cabinet, that means that you are not in the same tax bracket as them. Like they can waste all this space instead of using it efficiently and putting more containers and whatever they need to in there.
Yeah.
Because they like, and I get it, a lot of people, right? Like there's a lot of people, the reason they don't like to read is because there's not an even amount of white space to non-white space, right? The white space meaning like
Right, the negative.
the negative, yeah. And so because too many words, I can't do it, right? So,
Really?
Some people are like that. They need the white space to balance out the occupied space. Like they need the negative to balance out the occupied. And so I get it from that aspect, but just
Not all literature is balanced like that though. Like
it's not.
Yeah,
not.
some books are like very dense.
Very dense. Like the writing is like I can guarantee you this woman, and I wanted to write in her comments, be like, so have you read Moby Dick? What are your views on Moby Dick? Because I read Moby Dick and the text is so fucking tiny and there's not a lot of negative space. It is all word.
It's not like, oh, I read 200 pages today. No, you can't do that.
No, this is, yeah, so that's how we got onto that.
Okay, so what were we talking about beforehand?
Oh, well, we wanted to talk about how ill-prepared the women in our community have made us for life.
I don't know how this transitions, but me and her
It doesn't matter. We're just, shooting
we were
shit.
talking about some random shit, I think, and it just kind of came up and we thought we should record this because I think it's insightful.
It is, and I think we've touched on this a couple episodes before when I kind of went on my mini rant about not knowing what's going on with my body. Because it all kind of stems from that, right? Like, fine, if you didn't learn anything from school because, the public education system here in America sucks, they don't do a good job teaching kids about their bodies, humans in general about their bodies, right? However, now it's like, okay, but where were the females in your community? Where were the moms and the aunties and the masis and the kakis and all of them who are supposed to make it easier for the next generation? And what I think happened
They were busy making rotlis and telling us to shut up and mind our manners.
They were busy, and another part of it is I feel like they were like, you know what? We didn't have it easy. Why should you? Like,
Yeah.
I get that vibe from a lot of boomer South Asian women.
I still get that.
Yeah.
Anytime I share like a win with my mom or something like that, she's like, "Ave dun mare
She makes it a pissing competition.
Yes.
It's always a pissing competition with Usha.
I would be like completely fried and she'll like mention something about like, oh, did you get a chance to do this? I was like, no, Mom, I didn't get a chance to. I know, I've just had so much laundry to get done.
Yeah.
I'm like, bitch, you have no idea. Get out of here. You can wash your laundry and fold it within the same hour.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
You have like what? You and Dad have like 5 pieces of clothes that you put in the washer. Like, get out of here.
Right.
And they're
it can get done in a fraction of your day. Mine goes throughout the day and is never actually complete.
Yeah, no, they didn't do a good job of preparing. Like, the only thing that they think they did a good job on doing is raising us on how to properly run a household. Because that's all they focused on. Like my mom, right?
Sometimes I honestly feel like I'm not even getting that right?
I'm not getting that
like,
right.
Can you do, and this is where I do give my mom props. Like, she wants to host like Diwali dinner or Diwali lunch or whatever. I know she's going to make the works.
Yeah.
She'll be so strung out for a whole week, but she'll prepare the works for us. I can't do that.
No. I can't. Well,
I don't have the stamina for it.
it's because we've watched them go apeshit crazy doing it. And we're just like, this is not the life we choose.
Yeah,
This
we're
is not
gonna
the life-
order.
We're just gonna order out, like, because we want to enjoy the evening as well. Because we saw our moms not enjoying the evening. We saw our moms.
You
and
couldn't
then,
even walk on the floor.
no,
Right? You're like,
no.
you just sat there if
Yeah.
you're not helpful.
Like, if you're not vacuuming and mopping and cleaning the bathroom and rolling out the booty, then what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
like, but they didn't do anything beyond that. Like, there was no conversations on, hey, this is what sex is going to be like. There was no conversations on, hey, this is what being pregnant is going to be like. No conversation outside of, well, he's your husband and you have to compromise. That is
And-
the only thing they told us.
And like those conversations leading up to that, like this is like all post marriage kind of shit, right? What about when it comes to like looking for your partner?
But even
Right?
then,
Like it was one thing like, oh, don't talk to boys, don't get into trouble.
Exactly.
You can only have girlfriends. And then when it was time to get married, like why aren't you talking to anybody yet? Right? Or if you were like me, who I did keep secret boyfriends, okay? I kept I knew it was
that was so cheesy.
I knew that like if my parents knew I had a crush or something like that, those were just not conversations that I was ever made to feel comfortable
No.
having the conversation with them.
No.
Right? So I was just like, I know this is going to go one of two ways, and it's definitely not going to go the easy way. So I kept it under wraps.
Because it was not a safe space.
Right. But if it had been, could I have avoided getting into some bad relationships? Right?
And it's
like,
not even
we
like...
never talked about like, oh, like make sure you're looking for somebody that treats you this way. Like, you know, maybe even, I'm not saying shit on my dad, but be like, I didn't think about this when I got married.
No, and we're not we're not shitting on our parents. It is what
But
it
like
is.
they never talked about any of their hardships.
Yeah, like if my mom, even like when it was just me and her, and in full confidence, if she had told me what it's really like, instead of making offhand remarks once in a while about, or you know, when men's wants to, then it's okay. But
The
when-
men's.
and it's just like, how are you just gonna say this to your daughter out of the blue when we've never talked about sex before? We've
Well, like
never,
when they want it.
yeah. Like she said that to me one time.
Oh
She's
my
like,
gosh,
Pinko, ito એમને જોઈએ ને તો કઈ વાંધો નહીં. પણ આપણે જોઈએ ને તો પછી થાકી ગયા છે ને આવું છે ને એવું છે. And I was like, girl, are you talking about sex
That's
with
not
my
how you-
dad right now? And this was not even before I got married. This was like, she only said this after I had my second child.
Damn.
She did shit like this after I got married, after I had my first kid, after I had my second kid, because that is when she saw me as a fellow female. That is when she
That's
felt
not
comfortable
right.
enough to
Yeah.
talk about this shit with me. And I was like, no, like
You needed to be more prepared going in.
nothing. And it wasn't even, like I said, it wasn't even like, you know, she would take me aside. Like, even if it was something as simple as we're getting ready for a wedding or something and we're just chit-chatting, girl talk, right? And then, because it's a wedding, it brings up things of what to look out for, what not to look out for. Things that, you know, make sure, I did it, make sure. But none of that. And I wouldn't have gone to my dad and be like, yo, mom said this about you. Like, I would never have said that.
No, it's
But,
just,
like,
but
she
she
didn't-
never treated you as like girl to girl.
She never, like, she treated, like, we went from being treated like children to immediately being treated like women with nothing in the middle there. You know what I'm saying? Like, the middle of being treated like a girl and a woman is being a friend. And there was no friendship there. There was no, like, you know, I wish I had known this. Like, and you know, that's my
You
whole
went from
thing.
being like protective to ete
Yeah. And I was just like, wait a minute. No.
Yeah.
This is not how it is. Like, you insisted I watch all these fucking Bollywood rom-com movies.
And that's what you want.
And then that's what
then.
I wanted.
But that's not real.
And that's not reality because they're called fiction for a reason, right? And then that paired with all the fucking historical romance novels I was reading and the literature that I was getting into, I was like, all right.
You wanted your Rahul to be able to get you off.
Right.
Yeah,
But
I
we
hear
don't
you.
talk about that because, it's like, but like, I get my period. My children are, this is a magical portal. Why are we not talking about this magical portal that it brings life into the world? Like, why?
I don't think they actually even knew enough about it.
It's just mind
Like
boggling.
sometimes when I talk to my mom about certain things, like I think she was just going with emotions when it came childbirth specific, right? Like I can't talk to her about like, well, this is what was happening in birth, so we talked about these options and that option. She was kind of just like, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Right? Like they had a very different approach.
Their approach was, we will cross that bridge when we get there.
I don't think they necessarily advocated for themselves, right? They just trusted and went in and was like, this is what happens.
Well, they were,
is that
a majority
blind?
of the time, they were told not to talk back. A majority of the time, they were told to shut up. Right?
And that follows through with, like, even at the doctors.
The boomer Indian moms. Your mom, my mom. You know,
Martina Kiewe.
Right. After they got married and they moved to their husband's house in whatever podunk village they were living in India, they were told to shut up by their mother-in-laws and to sit down and just go make the dinner. Go make the lunches. Go make the cha. We have guests coming. Go get the water. They were just servants. That's all they were. But then when but my thing is, no matter how society treated you, you still had your own
What did
brain.
you do to change it?
Right. They did nothing. All the women, all of the South Asian women that came before us, they rarely did anything to change the outcome of their future. Of their daughters' futures. Like, and when you have a daughter,
except when daughters like us came along and we started questioning it,
and they didn't like that.
Yeah, we get labeled as like a big mouth.
Like, do you know how much I had to fast because I would question things, or I would have reactions to things, and then my mom was like, "Oh, you get mad too easily. You have a temper problem. Wear this ring on this finger and fast on Monday so that you can control your temper." And I was like, I didn't know that's how that worked. But that's good.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
I still have the ring, and I used to wear a pearl ring. I used to wear on this finger, and so they got the pearl from India. But some fucking Brahmin blessed
my priest told me that I was gonna have like fertility issues and that I needed to wear a 3-carat sapphire. I'm like, you can buy it for me if you want to.
Yeah,
I'll still rock it.
If you're gonna say this is what's gonna happen, you gotta provide the solution.
Yeah, I was like, you can give me a 3-carat stone. That's cool.
No, but they got this pearl. They had somebody who was in India go to the mandir to get this pearl, and the pearl came home. They somehow got to our house, and the pearl got into my dad's hands.
Solid business idea.
Yeah. And then my dad...
I just don't believe in any of this.
My dad made the ring at work. Don't ask me how. Was
he a jeweler?
No. He made... An engineer. He made the ring at work.
That's kind of cute, though.
It was kind of cute. My dad was pretty badass. From piercing my nose twice to making me this ring.
That's really cute.
And I had to. Like, even if the ring, because it was silver, and it had to be in silver, which is a big thing, because we only wear gold, and 24 karat gold at that. So this thing had to be in silver, and I had to wear it all the time. But then, when I got pregnant, I couldn't, because my finger got swollen. So I took it off, and then I never put it back on. But between wearing this ring and fasting every Monday, that was supposed to help my temper.
Did you have to do Gauri Vrat?
Yes. Fucking, I don't want to talk about it.
I cheated every year.
Maybe I should have cheated. I did not cheat.
Every year.
I can't believe you. What do you mean you cheat? How did you cheat?
I was straight
Your
up.
mom was
I
on
was
top of
such
you?
a faker my whole life, dude.
Oh, no.
Such a faker. The shit I could go into, dude. I
was too scared.
They had to have known.
She terrified me.
One time I had to come clean about it because
1 year.
One year
I
I had to come clean about it because my cousin made mac and cheese, and so like a long time ago, this tooth right here, it chipped because I was home sick from school and my brother had to go to school, and when my brother came home, I was just so excited to have company again, so I went running out to go pick him up from the bus stop, and I slipped and fell on ice and I chipped my tooth. Well, it was Gauri Vrat, one of the days, and I was at my cousin's house, and she made mac and cheese. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I want some mac and cheese. But it was so hot. Or maybe it wasn't the mac and cheese. I had a candy or something. I had something, but it chipped my filling. And so I had to come clean about whatever I ate. And so, yeah, my mom knew about it.
So much trouble.
Yeah.
So much, and then I had to fast on Thursdays for good grades. So much fasting.
Stop.
Yo, my mom was trying to make me lose weight all the time.
And she blamed it on good grades?
Yeah. She's like, Bingo, to Thursday fast karo na, to pachi apre, whatever the God of knowledge is will be happy, and then they will bless me with good grades. And then if I fast every Monday, I will the God of mental health. I was like, I didn't fucking work because I ended up with postpartum depression. That's what fucking happened. Okay,
Bless you,
you
with
made
good
me.
grades. As if your noggin doesn't have anything to do with it.
As if my motivation didn't have anything. But like, this is the bullshit. This is the bullshit that I'm
Oh
talking
my
about.
God.
So how would I have expected somebody who was making me do these things to ever be forward thinking? You know what I'm saying? Like like
Yeah.
we are the way we are, right? And because we have the mentality we do, I'm like, I find it highly unlikely that there was nobody else before us that thought the way we did
No.
in the South Asian culture.
We're the Jasi Kiranis of the world.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm like, there had to have been people that came before us that got shut down.
The rebels.
The rebels that got shut down by the hoity-toity fucking bullshit
Yeah.
of women in the society.
Yeah.
Right? And because they had their thinking was too progressive, because they wanted to wear pants of all things. Like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying?
They
Like,
questioned.
right. And so they were too busy trying to make sure that their mother-in-laws didn't get mad at them, that they couldn't even think about what would I even tell my daughter. Like, I know for a fact, before I had kids, I was like, if I have a daughter, boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I have sons, but now I'm doing.
Yo, fuck you, dude. I'm your kid. Okay.
You're, you are.
Don't forget about me.
But I mean,
I have abandonment issues.
I would never. I would never.
I really
forget
need to
it.
be coddled by you, dude. You're like the only one.
I got you. I got you. But then when I had boys, I was like, no, we're not doing this shit again. I'm not continuing this. Indian boys are dumb and Indian boys don't know how to help out in the house, and
No.
like, you need to be self-sufficient. You do not need a parent, a mother, when you, like, I constantly say I'm the worst mother because I don't coddle my kids. I don't, like, run after them every 5 minutes asking if they're hungry. Like, I don't do half the shit that my mother-in-law tries to do to
They chase around their kids,
Yeah, and I'm like-
especially the boys.
and I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I refuse to do that. You know?
I have to like keep reminding, especially the boys. Like sometimes I think I could be a little tough on my daughter, just because I'm kind of just like, okay, we can do this.
Yeah.
And she is the older one too, so many times I'm kind of just like, try to understand their situation. They're just younger. They don't get what they can't do math like you. You know what I
And
mean?
your personality is both of your personalities are different.
I'm trying so hard not to put her in that older sister, older
Yeah.
Indian
Third parent.
daughter.
Third parent.
Right. I
Yeah.
don't want that for her, but sometimes I do have to force that because I'm like, you are 2 years older, 4
Yes.
years older.
Yes.
Right? Like there are some things that you are more capable of doing and you need to understand that. That's not a
Yeah.
girl thing,
No,
a boy
it's
thing.
just a child
It's just
thing.
a person thing.
You were born in position 1.
So constantly, I'm
position
just like,
1.
okay, let's all think.
Yeah.
What can we do on our own? What don't you need mommy for? Like,
Exactly.
be independent thinkers. Come on.
Yeah.
Get up off your ass. Do some fucking work.
That's what I'm saying. That's like, they just it's recently, obviously more. We'll finish on this.
Yeah.
Recently, I've just been seeing this more and more with myself, and then when I talk to other South Asians about what we're going through, like, just with our bodies in general, right? Like, we just have been ill prepared at every single major turning point in our lives because the women in our community decided that for us that it wasn't important to give us a heads up, buttercup. Like, it wasn't important to tell us the reality of being married, the reality of pregnancy, the reality of sex. Like, they wanted us to find out the same way they did.
Almost as if like
Nobody told me, so why should I tell you?
yeah, I don't want to say that it's like to stick it to us per se.
But that's what it feels like.
But
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, it does. And
because and take social media out of it, right? You can't tell me, like, I have a mother, I have a Masi, her sister, who's a nurse.
older cousins.
who's a nurse, okay?
Yeah.
She was a labor and delivery nurse for 20, I think almost 40 years. So she knows where babies came from, okay?
Yeah.
She knows exactly.
And
then,
what happens postpartum.
yeah, and then she has two daughters. The older daughter, which is my older cousin.
Yeah.
And then my other cousin, who is a couple months younger than me, who is an OBGYN. And yet, so I have a community of 4 women that I should be able to rely on
But they
to
don't.
help me, because you don't need 4 women, you just need one.
Yeah.
You just need one other person to tell you that you're not going crazy. You need one other person
Yeah.
to be like, I'm that person for you. I know it feels very difficult right now, and I can guarantee you when they get a little bit older, it will feel a lot easier, and you will look back on right now and be like, it wasn't as bad as I made it out to be. And I can only say that from experience, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that
She
my
can
mom,
do that for me though. Her mom actually did say that to her, and that's
Yeah.
why she says it to me.
Right. Like, and this is the one time where I'm like, wow, I'm surprised that you gave me some sort of helpful advice instead of just compromise, right?
Yeah.
And when she, and she did, she's like, he's going to grow out of this phase. He's going to grow out of it. Just wait until he's in high school. Wait until he's in high school. And I just kept banking on that. I was like, I'll wait until he's in high school. And then whatever happens, happens. And,
Yeah.
and it did get better. So she did help in that aspect. But that's one out of a million things.
Yeah.
This umbrella of
A lot of time, I mean, I don't ever want to like write off their experiences, right? I don't want to invalidate by any means.
No.
But a lot of times, like I for a long time had some mental beef against some of my older cousins because
Yeah.
I was like, why wouldn't you have talked to me about what it was like? They would talk amongst themselves, but they didn't tell me what it was like to have my period or what the cramps felt like or what my first time would have been
Yeah.
like, And like, fine, moms, cousins, and everything, or moms and mossies is one thing, but like, you guys are my cousins, like just 7 to 10 years older than me, right?
Girl,
They're
not
you.
even.
They're you.
My older cousin is literally like 3 or 4 years older than
Right,
me.
but like they were married much sooner than I was, right?
Yeah.
They had kids before I did. Like at some point, I wish that they would have just let me know what it was really like.
I know.
However, and I know we said we'd leave it, but like I think got over a lot of my resentment by understanding that they too are surviving. They
Yeah.
probably and it might just be me trying to make sense of it for myself, but I think if I did ask them, they would have talked to me about it, but in the moment their kids were younger and they likely were just surviving just like how I'm surviving.
Yeah.
Right? And then as we kind of get to the end of that road, we're like, oh, the haze is starting to clear, and it's like, yeah, I know, right? And now we have something to bond over, but like initially I was so pissed. I'm like, nobody told me about this.
Yeah.
They could have told me.
Yeah.
They could have warned me. They could have prevented this from happening. Well, they were going to stop me from having kids? Probably not.
No, but
But I would have been better prepared.
that's what it's about. It's about being like, our whole life is about being better prepared. Why do you go to school? So that you can learn the skills you need to learn to be better prepared for the life that you want to have. Otherwise, we wouldn't go to school.
Yeah.
We would just be trying to like putz around and figure it out, and either use social media to learn shit or whatever, right? But you go to school to prepare you for being an adult. Yes, right, wrong, or indifferent. They do a shitty ass job. They don't do the best job. So it can get better, but it's about just giving us a heads up.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And I get it. You're in the thick of it. You can't make heads from tails. You're just trying to survive yourself, because that's what it is for a really long time. Even now, it's like I'm surviving, but it's not because of my kids. I'm trying to just survive because of now what is going on with me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we can't keep doing that. We need to get out of
You can't keep
survival
surviving
mode.
through every single phase.
And that's what I feel like we're doing. That's all we're doing. So
should.
we should finish it.
Yeah, we should.
So you keep on surviving. This is it for us. Leave
Just
your
keep
comments,
swimming.
concerns, everything down below, and we'll catch you on the next time. Okay, bye.